50, 45, there goes Davis.
Oh my God!
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 436. Today is Monday, September 2nd, 2024. College football is back and we are better than ever, kid. How you doing? How was your weekend?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little tired, but overall great, long weekend. Like I said, celebrating my niece. Hope everybody enjoyed their Labor Day weekend. Let's get into it in just 4 days away from football.
For counting down the days, we're down to our last two teams, Seahawks and Cardinals. We'll get to that in a little bit. We got an 11-game slate on the diamond. We have a standalone game in college as well. BC, Boston College, taking on Florida State. Can FSU and the Noles bounce back? We're recording this. It's about halftime now in the LSU and Trojan game. It's 10-10. Trojan trying to move the ball, kid. Do you have any action on this game?
Yeah, dude, I took LSU. I laid the 4.5 with them on the road. I'm not gonna front. USC's looking a little better than I expected it to.
You saw that catch?
Yeah, crazy catch.
Catch of the year, maybe already.
Maybe. Good chance to get it though. And to be honest, hopefully LSU just recovers. I expect them to be a little better. I expected USC to take a step back. To be honest, I'm completely wrong. USC looked like it took a step forward, even without Caleb Williams. So I like what I've seen so far. A little surprised, but I like what I see so far.
Yeah, they brought in a new defensive coordinator, and they look actually like the better defensive team than
I'm telling you,
LSU.
They're looking pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone gained weight. They got on they had a new personal trainer, and it really showed. I mean, most of the defense, they said, gained 20 pounds of muscle, and it looks like it. They're flying. They made a big stop on 4th down, and LSU is a very talented team as well. Tracy, he's going crazy right now, or Lacey, excuse me. So, yeah, good game so far, 10-10, about 23 seconds left in the first half. Trojans are actually marching. They're trying to get into field goal range. But outside of that, kid, overall, how was first week of college? How was betting-wise? Did you like any of the games? I know you were rooting for Clemson, but they got boat raced.
They got boat raced, still. I didn't bet them, thankfully. I was just like, I don't think Georgia's going to be able to sustain it. Still, Georgia still looks pretty
they
damn
keep
good.
on rolling.
Yeah, they still look pretty damn good. I went 2-1. Oh no, I went 1-1 so far. We got the LSU game. I took Bama. They won 63-0.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then I took Texas A&M. Though I think that was my
great game though.
Yeah. I think that was probably my favorite play. I honestly thought Texas was gonna pull. I wouldn't say the upset, but early upset. And to be honest, Notre Dame looked good. It just
they did.
Offensively, Texas A&M just couldn't really
quarterback.
They couldn't really get in rhythm in the quarterback though. He just made some throws sometimes, and I was like, "Damn, all that money Texas A&M got, and they couldn't get themselves a quarterback."
They couldn't get a quarterback. I mean, what an environment going on the road week 1. Boys were ready. Love the Luke Riley, the transfer from Duke coming over to Notre Dame. Love the coach Freeman. I think he's a player's coach. Defense looked good, and they made stops.
Good, especially in the first half. Give credit to both defenses, honestly. Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Honestly, in the first quarter, it was just a defensive showdown. The offense started getting in rhythm. Second and third quarter, but realistically, Texas A&M honestly thought they was going to make some noise this year. They're seriously in trouble.
Yeah,
seriously. Like, I don't want to overreact just because it's week 1, but the fact that your quarterback looked that bad against a top 10 school is a problem.
Yeah, he threw some questionable balls that kind of made you scratch your head about, and it wasn't the best game. And it just looked like he wasn't on connection or on time or on beat with his receivers.
The moment looked a little too big for him.
It did
in the second half, though. Like when he was going to the sideline, he just looked like
107,000 Aggies.
Too much. And you understand that that's a game.
Oh my God, that's on my bucket list.
That's gonna be the biggest game he plays for probably the next 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, every school in the SEC is big, but yeah, I mean, opening night against a top 10 team, and you had every opportunity to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Defense stood stall.
Oh my God, they got some NFL players on that defense.
Yeah. And then you saw in the first quarter, real quick, before we move it on, it was just back-to-back turnovers, and it was like the quarterback fumbles. It was like kind of a strip, and then these dudes run not a jet sweep, but a wide receiver sweep goes off the wide receiver. I'm like, these dudes are bugging.
Yeah. The timing seemed off too. They don't have any preseason. Sometimes they come out struggling. Ohio State didn't struggle 52-6. They beat Akron, but it's only Akron. Honestly, Oregon, for the number 3 team in the country, Idaho played them well.
Mm-hmm.
It was only 14-7 going into the fourth quarter. They wound up winning by 10, but Idaho covered that. Dylan Gabriel, I mean, he's not the biggest guy. I think he's okay. I definitely don't think he deserves to be. Wow, USC just missed a 40-yarder to go up by half. And
be like that.
Yeah, that's good for you and for LSU backers. But Idaho, good game. They covered against Oregon. Texas, number 4 team, they beat out Colorado State. Archie Manning's even got in.
He got some burn. But I'm not gonna hold you, Deal. The starter looks good. I don't know. I don't know if
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, I don't know if Archie gets burned this year.
No, he's only gonna get burned during
next year.
Next year.
His
but
junior year.
When they start blowing teams out, he'll play like a down or two. But yeah, like you mentioned, Alabama, they roll 63. All the top teams besides Florida State last week, they all won. Ole Miss 76-0. Penn State, they were the better team.
Yeah.
Allard was better. No more to say. But you laughed at me. Fresno State covered 30-10 against Michigan. So we do cover there. I didn't have the best. I actually got boat raced week 1. My overall record 8-15, down 7 units. So, but my next bet is my best bet. The Gators, they didn't come out. They actually got boat raced too. Cam Ward, he looks fantastic. 385 yards, 3 touchdowns as well. I don't know. Navy won. Navy had a big win. I was looking to see if Towson won, but I think they'd lost. What else is new? But overall, good week 1. We had some news in the NFL as well. Extension. Mike McDaniel, he gets a new contract through the 2028 season. They have the top-ranked offense in the AL for the first time since 1994 under McDaniels. They also had their first back-to-back playoff appearance in 23 years. So they believe in him, the front office. I do too. I guess the final piece of the puzzle is, can he win in the playoffs?
I think the bigger question is, can Tua win in the playoffs?
Oh, it's more on Tua.
Yeah, I think it's more on Tua because we saw Mike McDaniels turn this franchise around. Look at Miami Dolphins. I think I got him in the playoffs this year. I think you possibly got him in the playoffs this year. And we can't deny the offense. We know it's honestly a juggernaut when it comes to the running game and with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Tua is just the cherry on top. If he can stay healthy and if he could be accurate and consistent enough, that offense could take you places. That defense was riddled with injuries last season. But if they can stay healthy, I give them a shot to be, let's just say, a top 15, top 16 defense. So I like the direction that Miami's going. I think Mike McDaniels is one hell of a, not just coach, but offensive mind and running scheme genius. Because some of the run schemes he come up with, we look at the yard totals, look at the touchdowns. Who would have thought Maureen Mostert would have led the league last year with rushing touchdowns? It's because Mike McDaniels. Devon Arcane, he's a stud. It's because of Mike McDaniels. So you got to give him his credit, and I think Miami Dolphins was a great move for giving him this extension. To me, he deserves a contract through 30-30.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserved it, and I think the ownership does too. They believe in him. They said, listen, we're going to extend you. We like you. And I agree. I think the only puzzle piece is quarterback play. He likes him, and I think he fits it.
No, bro, I think we all like Tua. It's just, bro, come playoff time, come that game under 30 degrees, still.
He just
it's
can't
a
play in
bad
the
game.
cold.
It's
Yeah,
just
he
a bad.
can't.
I'm not gonna say he just can't play in the cold.
No, he can't though. He can't. Let's call a
Yeah.
spade a spade. I call him King Tua, but he can't play in the cold. He's from Hawaii, bro. I don't blame him, bro. He
And he
played
went
in
to
Alabama. Yeah.
They got drafted by Miami. You know, it is what it is. But till you win that playoff game, you got to win it either in
You got to win it in the next 2 years.
Cincinnati, Buffalo, New York, Kansas City. That's
Jordan
tough.
Love has more playoff wins than you.
A lot of people.
That's
Say
great.
what
Brock
you want,
Purdy.
Dak,
Yeah,
Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones,
yeah.
Baker Mayfield. I could say some names still.
Yeah. Shout out Baker.
Trevor Lawrence.
But yeah, no,
names.
I'm glad they extended him. He definitely deserves it. And yeah, you're right. He's a hell of an offensive mind. Also, we got some opening night stats for that Chiefs Baltimore Ravens Thursday night game. Hollywood Brown, he injured his shoulder during the preseason game. He is out Thursday night. Mark Andrews, he also got into a car accident about earlier in the month. He is a game time decision. He's listed as questionable for right now. Does that, impact your line or how you would handicap Thursday night game? Right now, I'm trying to get the lines for you. It is Baltimore Ravens 3-point underdogs on the road. Total is at 46.5. I'll let you know right now. I already bet the under.
Yeah, I already take the +3. I think Baltimore should be. I'm not gonna say the favorite.
It's in Arrowhead.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not saying Baltimore should be the favorite. All I'm saying is this shouldn't be catching 3 points. That's all. If it would have been 1.5, okay. To me, I think Baltimore honestly should be the favorite in this game.
Oh, wow.
In my opinion. They should be, though. I think just coming into week 1, I just feel like Baltimore is going to be, I'm not going to say ready more, but just be ready week 1. We know what Kansas City mind is at. It's come January, come February, they'll come playoff time. I don't see Kansas City just going out there trying to show everybody we're still the best team in the world week 1. I think the Ravens got that sour taste in their mouth from the AFC Championship game, and they got something to prove. And
do you worry, real quick, that it's ring night? They might come in a little lackluster?
No, just because last year when Detroit went into ring night, they handled business. I understand, Derby's Tony dropped a couple balls, but at the end of the day, I think the Baltimore Ravens have a little more respect than the Detroit Lions. May I say that?
Yeah. No, I think that's fair. Also, I think Baltimore, RIP, their offensive line coach passed away a few weeks ago. They're playing for a lot more. You mentioned the revenge factor. I agree. I thought they were the better team, and I'm not just saying that. I thought, I know they should have ran the ball.
Week 1, I think they're the better team.
Come
January, Kansas City, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And I thought they're going to come out playing aggressive. They're going to run the ball.
Run the fuck off the ball.
Yeah, and say, listen, can you stop Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry?
Yeah,
prove it.
The key to beat the Chiefs week in, week out.
Keep the ball away. Exactly.
So you're going to have to dominate time possession.
We're on the same page.
We already know, though. We know this.
Yeah,
we just got to let the people know this.
Yeah. We're locked. But, yeah, I agree. Plus the points, it doesn't really affect. Even if Mark Andrews is there, I think he'll give it a go. But I do think,
I wouldn't rush him. Why? You missed all the
I think this is a big game. I think this is a game changer. Going into the season, we just knocked them off. It doesn't matter if it's week 1 or not. This is a tone setter.
I know, Dill, but Isaiah Likely's a stud. It's not like
you're
hurting at the tight end position. Isaiah Likely could still go in there, get you 5 catches, 45 yards and a TD. Mark Andrews would have got you 6, maybe 70 yards in a TD, Dill. It's not a major drop off,
That's fair. I don't think they should rush him, but if he is ready to play,
if he's good, if he's 95%, let him in.
Yeah, so Hollywood Brown, it really didn't affect the line, but I just wanted your thoughts real quick. We keep talking about kickers and them getting paid. Cameron Dicker of the Chargers, 4 years, $22.5 million. It's $12.5 million guaranteed. It's making him one of the top 5 highest paid kickers in the NFL, just ahead of Evan McPherson of Cincinnati just got paid. Your boy Graham Gano. So these kickers keep on getting paid, man.
Yeah, Dale. This is another one where I think he deserved the contract. Dale, we saw it for back-to-back seasons. He was just consistent. I definitely
Yeah.
think he's one of the best kickers. In the football. All these guys getting paid, and I understand some people might be like, kicker don't deserve that. Guess what? Game on the line when you need them the most. Guess what? You want the best kickers in the game, and Eric Dickerson is definitely top 10, and he deserves to get this money. So shout out to Chargers taking care of him, and he's a young guy, so he'll
Yeah.
he'll get a couple contracts as well. So good for him.
It's also good too because he's another guy that got cut a few times and then he finds his way to the Chargers. And sometimes you just need a change of scenery. And now look at him. He got a guaranteed contract. So yeah, happy for Cameron Dicker. And then we got the tragic news to end here on football. Late Saturday night, 49ers first rounder Ricky Purcell. He was shot in San Francisco. An attempted robbery in Union Square. Police came out and said they arrested the suspect. He was a 17-year-old man from Tracy, California. So I'm guessing it's around the Bay Area. But yeah, thankfully he was released on Sunday afternoon. He'll obviously take his time returning. He won't be there for week 1 against the Jets. But crazy, and thankfully the doctor came out and said it was a clean exit right through his stomach and didn't touch any vitals or organs. So they said he was quote unquote very lucky. I would think so. Yeah. I mean, a scary sight. And apparently he was like trying to grab the gun and whatnot. So they both got shot. Ricky and the 17-year-old, they both got shot. But thankfully he's okay. And thankfully he's back home with his family. Crazy Saturday night.
Yeah, Joe, that's just always unfortunate that happened, but thankfully he's okay. Not to get too political, but we all know San Francisco. It's a zoo. It's a zoo out there. It's not a safe place for citizens and pedestrians and whatnot. So if you're in a California area, just watch out. Be alert and just know in those cities right now, it's a
It's
zoo.
not a good time to be
Yeah,
over there.
it's a zoo.
Yeah. Especially late at night in the Union Square. I don't know.
I know, but it's still San Francisco. Though it should be one of the best cities in America right now. Is going to shit because we know why. But not to get to it. Not to.
No, I agree. But just like it just sucks that it had to be him. The kid's a first round talent out of Florida. Apparently, he's a really good kid, and it's just wrong place, wrong time. But thankfully, like you said, he is okay, back with his family. Little NBA news though. Your boy, I know you like him. That's why I had to bring this up. I saw it. He got a new contract. Zubac, the center for the Clippers, 3-year, $58.6 million extension with the Clippers. He gets max availability for the next 3 seasons, and now he's guaranteed for the Clippers for 4 years, $70 million. One, do you like this move long term? I guess the organization believes in Zubac long term.
Yeah, dude, I think Zubac is a solid center.
Is he a top 5 center?
No, absolutely not. But at times, defensively, he could be a top 5 defensive presence. At a night notice, occasionally he could give you a 20-piece, So it all depends. But Zubac definitely could get you a couple double-doubles a season. He's healthy year in and year out. And to be honest, I think that's a great number for him. 3 years, a little less than 20 mil a year to get yourself a pretty good center in this league. To me, is a great deal for Zubac and the Clippers.
Yeah, I agree. I think short number, especially what the people are getting nowadays, centers especially. I think he could have gotten a little more in the open market, but he likes the Clippers. He likes where the organization is going. They're always in the mix. And I'll say this about Zubac. Great, defensive presence down low. Gets a lot of boards. Offensively, he's okay. He's middle of the pack, below average. He'll give you, 10 and 10? 2?
He'll give you a couple double-doubles.
Yeah, he'll give you a couple double-doubles. So, yeah, definitely a good move there, but I know you like him. Anything I miss over the weekend before we get to NFL futures and our plays for this weekend? Did you catch anything?
Your boy, what's his Scotty? Won 25 mil.
Oh, Scotty Scheffler.
He's looking like the best golfer in the world, though. He honestly is. So shout out him. Another grand prize for him. He's been doing his thing for a couple of years now. Just gotta give him his credit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to search it out because And I saw that he won. I just didn't know what he won, and I know he's like the best in the
It's like
world.
I think it's
So
25 million, the FedEx Cup or something.
oh, he
like
won the FedEx. Okay, that's
Yeah.
the tournament he won. All right. And there's your golf recap. There you go.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
brought to you by your boy Elvis.
Thank
Stop playing
you.
with me.
I love it. Thank you so much. All right. Before we get to our NFL futures, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with the active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or watching college football having a new flavor, coconut, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Tustino Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. Our last two teams, the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals of the NFC West. Where do you want to start? I feel like surprisingly enough, I feel like there's more to talk about the Cardinals. So do you want to start in Seattle?
I personally have more plays and more action for Arizona. So we
Yeah.
can start with Seattle.
Yeah, let's start with Seattle.
Shout out Joey D. We
Yeah.
gotta get some love to
we're getting him on for week 1. So Thursday he's gonna be back.
But Seattle's his team. In honor, we gotta shout out Joey D and shout out to Seattle. Shout out to 12th man as well. Loyal fan base out there.
Big shout out to Geno Smith.
Shout out Geno Smith. They counted him back. They counted him out, but he ain't right back.
Yeah.
Shout out Drew Lock as well. I understand he's on the Giants now, but what Drew Lock did a couple moments in last year, gotta give respect.
They wrote him off, but he ain't right back. That's one of the hardest bars ever.
And also shout out Pete Carroll, man. I heard he got a teaching job at USC, but he's still a Seahawk legend. Shame that he's still not there, but it is what it is.
They bring in my boy Mike McDonald, Baltimore defensive coordinator, top 5 defensive coordinators. The way he had the boys moving, you knew he was going to get a lot of offers. He brings in Washington offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb as their new OC. Aden Duree. They bring in the Dallas defensive line coach as their DC. You know McDonald's going to have his hands in the defense as well, though. You know, I like what they did in the draft. I'll say that. You get a guy like Byron Murphy, the second out of Texas, one of their best run stoppers. And I think Texas, on another note, they're going to struggle to stop the run because of him. But, you know, they bring in an offensive guard as well out of UConn. He's okay. I mean, they're going to plug him in and play immediately. But I don't know. They still got that kid Cross that they drafted a few years ago. You bring in Jerome Baker at a linebacker. He's going to go right in. George Font of the New York Jets, left tackle. He's going to go right in as well. You get a new center in Harris. They brought in some guys, but they lose Jamal Adams, Damian Lewis, Jordan Brooks, Colby Parkins. They lose Bobby Wagner, Hall of Famer. They go to the Redskins. So they lost some guys. Schedule, not the toughest, only 13th hardest schedule, so I would say fairly on the easier side. Now, I'm not touching their Super Bowl. I'm not going to touch their NFC. Super Bowl is 55-1. NFC is 25-1. Now, they have the third best odds for the West. I know we talked about we're high on the Rams. We think they're live. Or the 49ers. Think they're a year or two away at plus 650?
Yeah, I wouldn't touch the division at all with Seattle. You know, I like Seattle personally, but I'm not in love with them. And to be honest, San Francisco is one of the best teams in all of football. I like the Rams. I think they could be something. And I'm high on the Cardinals, so I like those teams a little more than I like Seattle. Even though I'm personally a fan from Seattle, but I'm trying to keep my bias aside and just go by for what I see in this future. And in my opinion, it doesn't look great.
All right, let's go to the win total because I agree. I wouldn't touch the division just yet. I think they're a year or two away. I want to see if Geno can be a little more consistent. I think their defense needs to get better. Win total 7.5. I think that's fair. I think that's very accurate of what the Seattle Seahawks are. They've gone over this in 2 straight years, back-to-back 9-8 seasons. 2021, they come off a 7-10 record. Now the over is at plus money. They're trying to get some both action on both sides. Plus 134 towards the over, minus 168 towards the under. Now they're only favored in 5 games. I think the beginning half of the schedule is extremely hard. You go on the road against the Lions, you're home against the Dolphins, home against the 49ers, you're on the road at Atlanta, at home against Buffalo, and at home against the Rams. The only good thing is that they have home field advantage. And I would argue Seattle is a true home advantage, especially when you get later into the year. But their only tough games, I would argue, on the road, Detroit, the Jets. Obviously, they go to the 49ers, but I'm not counting that.
Yeah, division. Yeah.
And that's it. Other than that,
they gotta go to New England week 2. No,
I get it, but they're just talented wise, roster wise, they're a better team. They should win that game.
Yeah, but they gotta go to Atlanta.
Yeah, I said that's tough.
That's tough. Chicago, we'll see.
We'll see.
Second to last week of the season.
Cold.
That might be a playoff implicated game.
Yeah.
That might lead to something. But don't get me wrong, I do agree with that. Don't get me wrong. Seattle don't have the toughest schedule in the world. They don't. They have a lot of winnable games.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I can see it. I just don't love it, Dale. I just don't love it. Like I said, there's a lot of moving pieces, a whole new coaching staff.
Do you believe in McDonald?
Absolutely, dude. I believe in mostly all these new head coaches that were hired. I just believe it's not the NBA where, you get a new head coach, boom, your team is gonna go to the finals. No. I think every new head coach deserves at least a 3-year window, though. In the NFL, I think it's gonna take time. At the end of you go into one of the hardest divisions in football if you're McDonald. I'm not saying you're going into a bad situation, but you might have the worst quarterback in the division. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like it's not the worst situation, but it's not better than what you left in Baltimore. So it's gonna be some pain, some growing pains, and we don't expect Geno Smith just to come out. At least be the Geno Smith we saw 2 seasons ago. I expect at least some of the Geno Smith we saw last season more than we saw 2 years ago when he came back out of nowhere, Dill. So don't get me wrong. I personally like the Seahawks, but I'm trying to keep my personal feelings aside. So I'm going to go straight to the win total, Dill. On pure value, give me the under at plus 128. Like I said, I'm trying to keep my personal...
it's plus money?
It's plus money for the under.
For 7.5 wins?
Yeah.
Am I bugging? I thought I saw 168. No, keep going. I just want to double check because
hold on. Let me double check. Let me double check. Because I did this. Yeah, win total under plus 128 over 158.
Yeah, I'm bugging. I don't know why.
Like I said,
pure
value wise, I'm gonna take the plus 128 with the under, Dill. Like I said, I can see the 8 wins. They don't have a brutal hard schedule. They could win 8 games, people. It's the reason why it's juice. But on pure value, I'm gonna take the 7 wins. I'm gonna take the under, Dill. Like I said, there's a lot of the moving pieces. I like Kenneth Walker III. I think he's a pretty good damn running back. Almost won me a ring last season. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, even though Tyler Lockett's a little past his prime, but with Jackson Smith, still, that's a pretty damn good wide receiver core. If you ask me, sprinkle a little Noah Fant at the tight end position, that's pretty damn good. Defensive, don't get me wrong, I like the young secondary. I think that both corners could be studs. But like you said, though, you got a lot of veterans that left that defense. I don't know what to expect. You got McDonald coming in, but is he gonna just have that defense gelling within 2 months of being there? I don't think so, Dill. So there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of veteran players that left, a young secondary, and like I said, no disrespect to Geno, but he's just he's just the worst quarterback in the division. So I'm not going to expect, the mountain or the moon from possibly the 4th best quarterback in the division. So in pure value alone, I'm going to go with the under. If they were both minus 110, probably would have went the over there, but in pure value alone, Give me the under 7.5.
This was the hardest team to bet because I don't know what I wrote down or what I
You
saw.
probably caught it early. Like the
No,
line.
like I thought I was writing down this shit last night, bro, and I got plus 134 towards the over, minus 168 towards the over. And I'm like you. If I was getting plus 134, I could see the 8 wins. I'm pure value.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
now the under, I could sit here and make an argument for the under. I'm sitting here trying to make because I agree 100%. I think
On
I'm a little
value-wise.
on value, strictly value. I'm actually going to stay away now because I really don't know what to expect. I can make a case for both.
No,
I
see both.
I see both, and I wanted to come here and bet the over because I kind of believe in Mike McDaniel. I think a little McDonald, excuse me, more than I think you do. I think what he did in Baltimore is crazy, bro.
Just to turn it around like that.
I think I'm also higher on the defense as well. I think it's not just a young secondary. They have a top 10 secondary. Their front 7, they're going to get after it. I love they get Leonard Williams. They bring in the first rounder, Brian Murphy as well. And that receiving core, top 6 receiving core, running back room, top 10 running back room. You got Chardonnay in the backfield as well. I worry about the offensive line, and I agree. The one question mark which could make you lose these games is the quarterback. He was awful against pressure last season. He was averaging just 5.3 yards per attempt with 50% completion rate. I mean,
if we get the Geno Smith from the 2022 season, though, we might see something. But we can't get the Geno Smith from last year. You know, it was a drop off. Real quick before we get into his player props. He had 30 touchdowns and 4,200 yards in 2022. He had 3,600 yards last season, 20 touchdowns. That's a big drop off. Not only yards, but 10 touchdowns. That's a major drop off. So I'm not saying he needs to be back at 30, but he needs to be at 25 plus if the Seahawks have any chance of not just going over the win total, but possibly going back into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me is the quarterback. I mean, like I just said, he sucks under pressure, and it also sucks that he has a bad offensive line. They're ranked 29th in the league. They dealt with Charles Cross, the guy they drafted. He got injured. Abram Lucas got injured. They also lost their left guard in free agency, Damian Lewis. This is a struggling offense to begin with. I mean, if he struggles, then who's their backup? Sam Howell. I mean, among 32 qualifying quarterbacks last season, Sam Howell finished 28th in EPA per play, 26th in success rate, 24th in touchdown rate, and 31st in interception rate, and he was sacked 65 times. I mean, that's the backbone of this team. How is this quarterback and this offensive line going to do? Because outside of that, I love
pretty good.
I love the whole team. I trust the coach. I like the defense. I like the running backs. They have weapons. Can Geno be consistent? That is the $1 million question. And I think there's no better person than to start with for player props than Geno Smith. We'll start with his yards prop, 3,425.5. Now, last year he went over this, even though bad offensive line, threw some interceptions as well. 9 interceptions, 20 touchdowns, like you just mentioned. His prop is at 20.5 touchdowns. Interceptions at 11.5. I would go under that just because I think with McDonald, they're going to run the ball. I think the turnovers are going to be cut down. I don't think they're going to make Geno force the ball and make him. I think they're going to do what they used to do with Jared Goff. We're going to run the ball, play defense, and we're going to make you throw 15 to 20 times.
From that 20 times, 5 is off the play action.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I would go under 11.5. 11.5 seems like a lot, even for Geno Smith. It's at minus 118. Touchdowns, I would go over just because I think the play calling is going to be safer. I think they're not going to force some things. Yeah, they're going to take some shots, but I would go over. There's just too many weapons. Even Kenneth Walker and Chardonnay out of the backfield, they could catch it as well. I would also go over. I would stay away from his yards. I would lean over. He did go over it last year, but I'm more confident in his touchdowns and interceptions.
Yeah, definitely going to take the under on the interceptions. I do think he takes a step back from that. Like you said, he had what 10 and then 11 the 11 last season, then 10 the year prior. I think he tones it down a little bit. That definitely going to be a run first team with McDonald as the head coach. Definitely believe that. But I'm gonna go over both his passing yards and passing touchdowns still. I think 34 25 and a half is just about right. But he went over this mark twice, 2 seasons in a row now as a starter in Seattle. And he went over this mark last season, missing I think he missed 2 or 3 games. And he went over this mark last season. I think if he's at least a starter for 15, 16 plus games still, he goes over this mark again. With the outside talent that he has still, it's hard for him not to. I think DK 1,000 yard plus. Jackson Smith, I'm not gonna say you can say he had a disappointing year last season. I think we both expected a little more. I think he'll have a little better the year. Tyler Lockett's still doing Tyler Lockett's thing. Noah Fant, and like you said, Kenneth Walker and Zach Charlier could definitely catch it out the backfield. Dude. I just feel like if healthy, Gino has too many weapons. It's just can he be consistent enough to go way over this number? That's the question we want to know. But to go over 34, 25 and a half and just 20 and a half touchdowns still, I give a chance Gino go for at least 3,800, at least 24 to 26 touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree. I think big season. I think he cuts the turnovers down. I think it's a better system for Geno Smith as well. And I agree with the wide receivers. We'll get to them in a minute because I think they're a little more of a sure thing than I think this guy, Kenneth Walker, and that's who I want to talk about. His rushing yards, 875 and a half, minus 112 both ways. Touchdown, his rushing touchdown, 7.5, minus 112 both ways. This is another guy, kid, where I just thought the number was extremely low. Like, regardless if he'll miss a game or two, which he might, he is injury prone, but he runs hard. He has a lot of miles on him. He played 4 years at Michigan State. But he's also gone over this with 2 bad offensive lines and injuries on the offensive line. His rookie season, he rushed for over 1,000 yards. And even last year, he rushed for 900 yards. I thought this number was going to be around 925 because I think, imagine if he had just even a middle of the pack offensive line, this guy would be a 1,200-yard back. I mean, the number is just too low. I got to go over on everything. Even down at the goal line, I think they're going to pound it in with him and Chardonnay. So I would take both.
Yeah, I love the touchdown over more than the yards, but I'm going over both as well. He had 9 touchdowns his rookie year, 8 touchdowns last season, and he also missed, I think, 2 games because I had him on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
He would have went over 1,000 yards again, and he probably would have got 9 to 10 touchdowns if he doesn't miss those games. Still, I think he's live for 9 plus touchdowns once again, and I think he's live for 1,000 yard season still. So give me the overall over 875 and a half minus 112, and then I really love the over 7.5 touchdowns.
I love it. Let's go to Tyler Lockett. I mean, this guy's been into the league since 2015 out of Kansas State. I mean, it just seems like this guy, and he looks like a young guy. I know he's older, but he doesn't look like an old guy. Doesn't look like it gets to him. His prop 725 and a half receiving yards. His receiving touchdowns at 4.5. Now he's gone over this number, and he went over it last season, 2022. Wow.
Right.
And no, it just internet is fucking god awful. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, anyway, thoughts on Tyler Lockett, 725 and a half. I was going to go over regardless of what the number said, though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Tyler Lockett. He's just been consistent. Look, 2019, 1,057 yards. 2020,
But this is
1,054
Geno,
yards.
kid. This is Geno.
2021 with Seattle, 1,175. 2022 with Geno Swift, 1,000. Last year with Geno Swift, 6 yards under 900. And Dill, he finds the end zone some way, somehow, Dill. So you know what? I'm gonna probably tack it a little different from you. I'm gonna take the over 4.5 touchdowns at plus 108. I love that a little more than the yards, just because I think Jackson Smith takes the step up. Jackson Smith has 650 yards last season. Tyler Lockett had just under 900. I think we see that flip, though. I think Tyler Lockett just takes a small step back. He still gets his touchdowns. He probably still gets around 700 yards, though. I'm just not going to bet the yard total. I think he gets in the end. He always finds the end zone.
Yeah.
Look at the touchdown totals. Last year, 5. Year prior, 9. Year prior, 8. Year prior than that, 10, 8, 10.
Yeah,
So
we
Tyler,
know. We get it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's gonna get the end zone. So 4.5 at plus 108. Deal. I think that's my favorite play for Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, I love it, especially at plus money. I agree. And Jackson Smith and Jigba, great guy. Love the name. Ohio State legend. Rookie year, I thought he had an okay rookie year.
Yeah, but come
he
on,
dropped. He dropped some balls though.
I know. I expected more than 650 now.
628, 63 catches for 628. He only had 4 touchdowns.
For a first-round pick, that was disappointing. That's all. That's all. Yeah, if Malik Labers gives you 625 this year,
that's disappointing. Yeah,
come on,
you're
Marvin
right,
Harrison gives you under 700.
Get the pitchforks. Yeah,
come on now.
I agree because we expect 100 catches and 1,000 yards from both of those rookies. So no, I agree. First round pick, you got to get a little better. He did drop it. He had some drops early in the season, but
had a game-winning touchdown as well.
Yeah, he did. Tale of two halves. Now his prop this year, 750.5. They're thinking he should take that next step. 4.5 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns his rookie season. I agree. I think he does take that next step. He only needs another 100 or so yards. I think he could get that. I expect better play from Geno Smith as well. So I do like Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'd rather attack his receiving yards than his touchdowns.
Yeah, that's why I do. That's why I attacked Tyler Lockett's touchdowns. I stood away from his yards, but I'm taking Jackson Smith yards. Like I said, I expect them to take that next step. Kind of take that Tyler Lockett step. Tyler Lockett's going to be the security blanket. Third wide receiver. He's going to get those touchdowns when needed. But Jackson Smith, we need you to be right there, right under DK Metcalf. Because DK Metcalf, we already know what he's going to do, Dill. I've already penciled him for 1,000. But we need Jackson Smith to be at 850 plus.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think he does take that next step. I would stay away from the touchdown because, like we've alluded to, there's a lot of mouths to feed on this team. And yeah, so let's go over to DK Metcalf. Surprising. I mean, only his receiving yards is up. It's at 950.5. He's gone over this in every season, except actually his rookie season. He only had 900. But other than that, since 2020 and on, he's at that, like you said, just pencil him in for 1,000. 950.5 on the surface seems low, right?
Yeah, Dale, but I understand it is, I'm not gonna say a loaded offense, but it's a lot of mouths to feed. So understandable, but I think he gets for at least 1,000, Dale. Maybe even a little more, probably 1150, 12. Just because talent-wise, he's capable of doing it. Just is the quarterback play going to be consistent enough for him able to do it? So I think 950 is just a little short, but I understand why the number is there. And there's no touchdown prop on him, Dale. But I'm gonna say he gets 8. I'm gonna say 8 at plus 120. That's what I was able to find. There's no over/under on him, but to get 8 plus touchdowns at plus 120, I'll give him a shot.
I love it. Let's go to the defense side of the ball. Now, like I said, I think I'm a little higher on most, and I think McDonald's is going to do a great job with this defense. Now, they got 2 corners, Wooden, Witherspoon out of Illinois, top 5 pick back in 2023 last season. His interception prop is at 1.5 at plus 152 towards the over, minus 196 towards the under. Now, this is another guy that we talk about. I think he's a future top 5 corner in the league. The problem is they don't throw to him. They don't throw to his side. So you kind of have to pick and choose who you throw to. You're going to attack Wooden or you're going to attack Witherspoon. And to be honest, people were attacking Wooden more than they were attacking Witherspoon last season. He only had 1 interception. He had only 3 sacks. He had 56 tackles. What do you think for his sophomore year? You think he gets 2 picks?
I give him a shot too, Dill, just because I feel like they're going to test him a little more. You're going to have to, just like you said, Woolen on the other side, you got to respect him as well. So you're going to have to pick one who you're going to attack. And I think that's who you go over. Tyreek, his interceptions at 2.5 is juice for the under. Over is plus 172, Dill. If I had to pick one of the two, I'm gonna go with Willendale just because I feel like he'll get tested more. I feel like he'll get
You're
just a
right,
couple.
though.
Yeah, I feel like he'll get more balls his direction, and I think he'll come down possibly with 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Realistically,
like his rookie season, Rick Woolen had 6 picks. I
yeah,
mean, because no one really knew out of him. The guy was a 5th-round pick out of UTSA Roadrunners, and no one really knew. But he took this. Now people know about him. But he had 2 last season, and at plus 172, I think of value, I would take Rick Woolen over 2.5 interceptions.
mhm.
So no, I agree 100%. Anything else you want to touch on with the Seattle? There is Brian Murphy, defensive player of the year, or defensive rookie of the year, but I didn't touch that.
Yeah, I'm not touching. That's it. I'm done with Seattle. Don't get me wrong. I hope Geno Smith plays like 2022 and then make some noise, possibly get into the playoffs. That wild card. But I don't know, Bill. I don't know.
All right. No, it's all good. Let's go to the Arizona Cardinals. Super Bowl 80-1. NFC 38-1. They have the worst odds in the division. NFC West at 13-1. Win total opened up at 6.5. Now it's at 7.5, plus 124 towards the over, minus 152 towards the under. We will start there, kid. Jonathan Gannon, his second year, in the league. They go and they get a left tackle, Jonathan Williams, or Jonah Williams, excuse me. That was the guy from Cincinnati. Gave him $15 million. They go and get Sean Murphy Bunting, cornerback. He's good. Zay Jones, wide receiver. They go and get a backup quarterback, Desmond Ridder, legend, Atlanta legend.
They dropped him.
Oh, they dropped him. Damn.
They cut him off.
Damn.
Yeah.
Not my man Desmond, bro. Nah, that hurt. That hurt. Anyway, they draft some no-name wide receiver out of Ohio State, Marvin Harrison Jr. No big deal. They get a defensive end, Darius Robinson out of Missouri. He is good. They got him in the first round. They got the kid Trey Benson, good running back. He'll probably be our running back 2 out of Florida State. He's really good. They get a corner out of Rutgers. I like what they did in the draft. Like I said, their win totals now it's at 7.5. They're only favored in 5 games. Middle of the pack schedule. It's like 15th rated, so dead middle. What do you think here, kid? I kind of see the over, if I'm being honest.
Give me the over 7.5 at plus 124. Deal. I think the biggest question mark for this team is Kyler Murray's health. One of the questions I wanted to ask, Moon off, that was, but real quick, one of the questions I wanted to ask still was, does he see Kyler Murray, one, being able to last long term at his size and play style? We know Kyler Murray, when healthy, is one of the most electric quarterbacks in all of football. But it's these injuries that pile up every single year. It seems like ever since his rookie year, we haven't really been able to see a full season out of Kyler Murray, and I think that's the biggest question mark. If we get a full season out of Kyler Murray, could we possibly see a playoff team from the Cardinals still? Could we possibly see them, win 9, 10 games? Could we possibly see them in the playoffs make some noise with a healthy Kyler Murray? Because he's one of the biggest dual threats still. We know what he could do with his legs, and we know that little guy has one of the biggest arms in all of football. I think Gannon has a chance to be, good head coach. I like what he was doing in Philly a couple years ago. I saw what he was doing last year, but really couldn't do much without his star quarterback, Dill. I'm going to go with the over, Dill. Hopefully, Kyler Murray stays healthy and we see something happen. But from what they're building right now, I like what the direction they're going. Give me the over 7.5 at plus 124.
Yeah, I actually like the over when it was at 6.5. Now it's at 7.5. I don't see 8 wins. I really don't. The defense, I think, is the worst. Obviously, it's worse in the division, but like top 5 worst. They get no pressure up front. They're ranked 32 in the league in their front 7. Secondary's ranked 28th. They're projected to play the NFL's first most difficult schedule of offenses. Just look at the offenses that they play: Buffalo, Rams, Detroit, 3 weeks in a row. Then they get the Commanders, who I think will be better. They play the 49ers, Green Bay, Chargers, Dolphins, Bears, Jets. I mean, those are a gauntlet of offenses. Then you play Seattle, Minnesota, Carolina, New England. It's a little easier, but then you end in 49ers and the Rams again because they're in your division. I mean, the defense is going to have their hands full, and they're on the road. They're on the road against Bills, on the road against the 49ers, obviously, Packers, Dolphins. In the first 8 weeks, I just don't see 8 wins, kid, at all. I don't see 7 wins. So I don't like it. I don't like their offensive line. They're ranked 31st in the league in offensive line. I feel bad for James Conner. We'll talk about him in a sec, but I just think he's going to have a hard time running the ball. And in the past 2 seasons, Kyler Murray, he's ranked in the bottom 3 among eligible quarterbacks in EPA per attempt, yards per attempt, completion rate, passer rating, and touchdown and interception ratio on throws of 11 yards or more. So the deep ball, he's not accurate. He turns the ball over, and he just doesn't throw it a lot. There's a lot of checkdowns for Kyler Murray. So he's also struggled late in the season. He can't stay healthy. That's the main issue with me backing this team. They only go as far as Kyler Murray goes. So, with Murray as quarterback, Arizona offense, they've seen a 2% drop in success rate in pass yards per attempt from week 11 on. So they struggle in weeks when he did come back as well. I don't know about Jonathan Gannon either. I think the best, besides Kyler Murray, I think the best part of this team is James Conner. That's it. I like Marvin Harrison, but he's really the only thing they got. Trey McBride, I think, could be a sneaky tight end. I think he's shown signs last year that he'll be okay. But outside of James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr. now, and Trey McBride, what do they really have? I don't know. Maybe you believe in Zay Jones, kid, but I don't believe in Zay Jones like that.
I'm not.
I gotta go under, obviously. I'm sorry.
I'm not putting too much faith in Zay Jones, but like Buda Baker in the secondary, he's a little past his prime, but he's still a stud. I don't get me wrong. I just like this Cardinals team, and I have faith. If Kyler Murray, it's all a big if. If Kyler Murray stays healthy, Dill, I give him a shot, Dill. I give him a shot. I'm telling you right now, at plus 340, if Kyler Murray stays healthy, I give him a shot to get to the 7th seed, Dill. I can see
at plus 330, you got him sneaking in. I like that. That was my next question.
At plus 340.
Nice.
I think they have a shot to get to the playoffs still. If they get to 8 wins, I got to 8 wins. If they could possibly go to 8 or 9, if Kyler's healthy, they could possibly make the playoffs still. Like I said, the NFC is a little weak. I think it's going to come down to the last few, the 6 and 7 seed. It's going to come down to Seattle, the Rams, Saints, and the Cardinals. Maybe somebody else in there as well. But I think those teams are going to compete for the 6 and 7 seeds.
All right, let's go to the player props. Obviously, I'm not touching for them to make the playoffs. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Marvin Harrison Jr. plus 650. I already put a ticket in for Malik Napier's just based on value. Now, would it surprise me if Marvin Harrison Jr. got it? No, but as plus 650, I'm not going to bet it. What I like better, most receiving yards as a rookie wide receiver, he is their number one. Kyler Murray is going to feast having Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, go back to the days where he had DeAndre Hopkins. He would just throw the ball up to him. That's exactly what they're going to do with Marvin Harrison Jr. So that's what I would do at plus 150, most receiving yards as a rookie. Now his receiving prop. Real quick on that, would you touch any of the things that I just did?
Yeah, I also took Malik Nabers to win, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's definitely worth a sprinkle from Marvin Harrison, but I took him as well to have the most rookie yards at plus 150.
Yeah, that's the kind of strategy I kind of took from your handicap last week of doing something like that. So now his receiving yards, 1,500 for a rookie. This I think is accurate because I think he's going to get, look at his receptions. They're sitting at 83.5 as a rookie. I think even that's too low. What we think out of Malik Napier's, I think we're going to see out of Marvin Harrison Jr. I think he's going to go over 1,000. I think he goes anywhere from 90 to 100 catches if he stays healthy and if Kyler Murray stays healthy, because I don't believe in Sam Howell or Desmond Ridder. It's not Sam Howell. It's Desmond Ridder. or you got cut. Who is their backup, E? Now my boy Desmond Ritter's without a job. They got to sign him.
I'll tell you right now, it's Clayton Tune.
Oh, yeah.
Clayton Tune.
Yeah,
Let me click his name.
Yeah.
Clayton
Anyway,
Tune, out of Houston. My
Okay.
boy's 25 years old. He been there, done that.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I don't believe in him, but if Kyler stays healthy and Marvin Harrison Jr. stays healthy, I think he could go over 1,000. I'll stay away from his touchdown prop. It's at 6.5. Gonna stay away from that. It wouldn't surprise me if he went under that, but I do like his catches over 83.5, and I like his over receiving yards.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take his over receiving yards at 1050. If Kyler Murray's there, I'll take everything over. But even if my boy Clayton Tune is the quarterback, I think he still gets the yards. I'm just not sure about the receptions and touchdowns.
Let's go to Trey McBride, because I think he's a very interesting tight end. He's going out of the couple mock drafts, kid, that I've
it's going pretty damn high.
done. He's going high, and he's coming off a good season. 81 catches, 825 yards. He didn't have the touchdowns though. Only 3 touchdowns. Now this year's receiving touchdowns, 1 more, 4.5. Well, he needs to get 2 more at 5. His receiving yards is at 800.5. How are you gonna play Trey McBride? Or would you draft him in fantasy? Because his rookie year out of Colorado State, he didn't get too much burn, only 265 yards, but he really took that sophomore jump.
Yeah, I think he definitely, aim for him in fantasy just because with Kyler Murray. And right now, Zay Jones is suspended for first few weeks of the season. I expect, the offense to go around. 1, James Conner, 2, Marvin Harrison, and then 3, Trey McBride till Zay Jones returns there. So I'm gonna stay away from the yards. Don't get me wrong. I think he possibly goes over, but like I said, I think that's a high number for a tight end. But he could easily go over if Kyler's healthy. He went over this mark last season without Kyler Murray. I'm gonna go over 4.5 touchdowns still at -130. Like I said, I feel like Zay Jones not being there the first couple of weeks. Marvin Harrison, I think, is gonna be the long ball threat, get you those big yards. And I think Trey McBride is gonna sit there and get those deep and dunks at the red zone and get a couple touchdowns. So he got 3 last season. I think if Kyler Murray's there throughout the season, he gets at least 5+. So give me the over and 4.5 touchdowns on -130.
Let's go to James Conner. I like James Conner. Great story out of Pittsburgh, goes to the Steelers. Then he comes over, finds a new home in Arizona. His rushing yards is at 775.5, -112 both ways. Rushing touchdowns, at 6.5. Now he's gone over his rushing yards 2 straight years. His rushing touchdowns, he's gone over in 3 straight years. Back in 2021, he had 15 touchdowns. Last year, he had 7 touchdowns. 2022, he had 7 touchdowns. At +102, kid, I have to take it because down at the goal line, besides throwing a fade to Marvin Harrison Jr., they are going to run the ball with James Conner. Now, I said I have questions about their offensive line, and I do, but James Conner, I think sometimes he's talented. He's going to get through to that. LSU just scored, by the way, 16-13. I like him again this year. I love his rushing touchdown, 6.5. I think that's too low. And I think he's going to get anywhere from like 750 to 800 yards. So I'm going to go over for both James Conner.
Same deal. I think his touchdown I love more than his yard total just because he's going to get in the end zone. James Conner just got that dog on him. That's one dude who's built different, and James Conner is built different. Give me the over 6.5 touchdowns at +102, and then I'm gonna also take his yards over, but I love the touchdown mark more than the yards.
Now let's go to the $1 million man. Now I'll preface by saying this: Call of Duty just came out a few days ago. We have to worry about that when handicapping this guy. Now, how much time is he in the lab or how much time is he on Call of Duty, kid? Because I guarantee you, talking to all my friends, they're playing Call of Duty. Kyler Murray's playing Call of Duty right now.
I guarantee right now at 7 p.m. in Arizona. I don't know if
he's playing Call. He's out streaming.
Yeah. I'm going to say 10 p.m. in Arizona Pacific time. He's playing Call of Duty. 7 p.m. I'm going to say he's watching film.
He's watching.
That's what I'm going to say.
Now, let's get to him. Well, let's go to start his rushing yard because I think that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's 475.5. Now, he's missed time in back-to-back seasons, but he still gets very close. Like, obviously, last year he missed, I think, the first 10, 11 games. So he didn't have it. He only had 244 yards. His passing yards just under 1,800, 1,799. 2022, he missed some time as well. He still had 418 yards. He threw for 2,300 yards. 2021, though, he had a full season, 3,787 yards. He had 425 rushing yards. Those are the numbers I think you could expect if he could play a full season. That is the $1 million question. If he plays a full season, kid, I love everything over. I think the sky's the limit. He is one of the most talented quarterback. I might argue he's most talented quarterback in the division.
Yeah,
Is
just
that
because he could run a 4.5, Dill. He has
athletically? Yeah.
Yeah, the dude was the top 5 pick in baseball.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. He could play outfield for the Oakland Athletics or
I'm
Vegas.
trying to tell you, this dude Kyler Murray is special. It's just, can he stay on the field? Dill,
Yeah.
I think it's worth a sprinkle plus 5,000 for MVP.
Oh, I love the energy because I have him in fantasy.
Yeah, Dill, like I said, talent-wise, there's not too many things Kyler Murray can't do on the football field.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just, can he stay on the football field? That's the question. So I'm going to go over 3,525 passing, and I'm going to go over 475.5 rushing, Deal at -112. Both of them. His touchdowns, I'm going to lean it over. Don't get me wrong, I don't love it, but I'm going to lean it over. I just got to see him stay on the field. But I think 3,500 yards is a little short. Even if he misses a couple games, I think he could throw for 4,000 plus. And to go over 500 yards rushing realistically, I don't love it, Dale, but I think he gets it.
Yeah, I would stay away from the interceptions, even though I lean under. I do think he takes care of the ball. Love the rushing, love the passing, and I love the over the touchdown just because I think he is going to stay healthy this season. So I agree. We're all high on Kyler Murray. And, if they do, if he is healthy and he's playing at the level he is capable of, they're going to win 8 games. Kyler Murray he's
Top
worth
10 quarterback if healthy.
I agree 100%. Now, my question is, how many wins is he worth? I think alone, he's probably worth like 3 to 4 games, right?
I'm going to say 5.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because think about it. How many games they won last season? 4?
Yeah, they were 4-13 last season. He came back week 10.
And he won 2 of them or 3
Yeah.
of them. I would say 5 wins.
Yeah.
Just him alone.
You might be right. He might actually be worth 5 wins. So, yeah, that's it, kid. We finished. We are done. Anything else? Did I miss anything for the Cardinals?
No, that's
All
it.
right, perfect.
I think it's worth a sprinkle for Jonathan Gannon plus 1,800 for Coach of the Year. Like I said, if Kyler Murray stays healthy, he's in that MVP conversation. Zay Jones is back. With Zay Jones, James Conner, Marvin Harrison Jr., and McBride, look at me around. The offensive line is not that good. But offensively, deal with a healthy Kyler Murray, that's a pretty good offensive repertoire, if you ask me. So I give him a shot. I think I give him a shot to win Coach of the Year if they get to 9 wins.
All right. Let's go over. Let's go over to the college football. Boston College going on the road to take on Florida State. Can Florida State bounce back after a very tough loss in Ireland? Your boy, Bill O'Brien, is the head coach of Boston College. Right now, -16.5 for Florida State at home. The total is 49.5. Kid, I told you I didn't want to lay any more points, especially double-digit points with DJ Ungaleo. But I might have to again. I think Boston College is just terrible. I mean, Bill O'Brien is going to run that pro-style offense, 12 personnel, pro-style offense, but I don't trust the quarterback. He only threw for 2,200 yards last season, 5% turnover margin. They don't have a good offensive line, and you got to imagine they bounce back at home, So I would lay it. I'd lay the 16.5 with Florida State, kid. Would you have any opinion on the game?
Dale, give me Florida State -16.5, and I'm going to juice it a little bit to -20, 21.5, Dale. Well, 20.5, 21. Bill O'Brien is just a horrible head coach.
Wow.
I'm a
Wow.
Patriots fan, and I'm trying to tell you this: Bill O'Brien is going nowhere fast. I feel bad for Boston College and all the people who donated this offseason because y'all going nowhere fast. I hope y'all get
Wow.
blown out by 30, and I hope Bill O'Brien is fired by week 6 because he has no offensive mind. This ain't 2005 anymore. This ain't 2010, 2016, even with Mac Jones and the high power Alabama offense with Devontae Smith, Michi, and company. This
Wow.
is not that, though. Bill O'Brien, go home. Give me Florida State minus the house and don't bet the house.
Don't bet the house,
But
but
lay the
bet the
16
house.
and a half.
Holy shit. I didn't know that it was going that way. Why are you not a fan of Bill O'Brien anymore? What he did to your team?
Yeah, what he did to
Yeah.
Mac Jones, still. In my
Yeah.
opinion, I think he sabotaged his career. Not purposely, just, his play calling did.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, especially first year, I do think it was the right move because getting a guy who coached in the NFL, I do think that is a good move for your
No, don't get me
program,
wrong.
especially a Boston College
It's a
program.
good move for Boston College, but when the man shows up to work, it's nothing good going to come out of it. That's all. It's a
Wow.
great hire.
Yeah.
No, it's a good hire, just a bad coach. That's all.
I agree. All right, let's get to the diamond. Like I said, 11 games. I'm actually going to be at the Met game tonight. Mets, Red Sox. Can't wait for that. I got some plays. I actually like the board, kid. I'll let you start it off, though. What do you got?
Yeah, Dale, let's head to Tampa. 6:50 start. Uh, Simon Woods, Richardson taking on what my boy Jeffrey Springs in Tampa. Over under sitting at 8. I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Twins on the money line, Dale, minus 115 on the road. Like I said, you know how I feel about Tampa. Shockingly, they're still afloat. You could say they won game under 500, but they're still making some noise. Minnesota, as a Red Sox fan, I'm upset that they can't keep losing. They had a huge winning streak a couple weeks ago back. Now they're still doing their thing. They're what 11 games over 500. I'm not sure if the Red Sox will catch them, Dale, but it sucks that I'm putting money on them. But give me Minnesota on the money line against Tampa Bay minus 115.
First game for me is I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Gavin Williams going for the Guardians. Michael Wacha going for the Royals. Minus 115 for the Royals, plus 100 for the Guardians. Over under is at 8.5. For a team that's lost 5 in a row, I'm going to bet them. I'm going to take Michael Wacha. I think this is a perfect bounce back spot. Home, tough road trip. They played Cleveland at Cleveland. Then they played a 4-game series and got swept in Houston. They needed to come home bad as hell, Kansas City. I think Michael Wacha is a better pitcher than Gavin Williams as well. I got it at minus 110. I still like money is coming in on Kansas City, I think, for a good reason. I think this is a good spot for them. So, yeah, I will touch them. Since I'm going to the game, kid, I got to have some action. Give me the Mets. Luis Severino is going for the Mets. Your boy, Brian Bello. I was hoping to see someone better. No disrespect to Brian Bello, but he's not the ace of the team. Minus 124 for the Mets, plus 106 for the Red Sox. Over under is at 8. Mets doing good right now. 7-3. They've won 4 in a row. Red Sox, they've lost 3 of their last 4, 3 of 7. Not playing the best baseball. They're scoring runs. That's not the problem. It's their pitching. Their bullpen has been atrocious right now. So don't trust Bello. Severino's had a couple weary starts as well, but at home, he is much better. I think they keep it inside the ballpark. 8 seems a little low. I do think we'll see some runs tomorrow. So lean over, but I do like the Mets. I got it a little early at minus 115, but minus 124, I still like. So, yeah, 2 plays for me.
I tell you what, though, I do agree with you. I do lean the over, but give me the dog of the day, the Boston Red Sox, plus 106 on the money line. My boy Bello's going on the mound, and he's going to dice you up, Dale. The Mets are not winning 5 straight. The Mets haven't won 5 straight all season, and it's not going to start.
That's false.
In September. Give me the Boston Red Sox on the money line, plus 106. Dog of the day.
I was leaning with some value too with the Rangers playing tomorrow. I saw it last time. I saw it at plus 155. They're playing the Yankees. Garrett Cole was just going to try to fade Garrett Cole. The way he's been pitching minus 184 on the road. I know it's the Rangers, but was going to fade that. I was leaning the Twins minus 110. I just worry that they're on the road. That's my only worry. I do think the Twins are the better team. They should win. I saw it at minus 110. I like that. And I also lean Mariners. Logan Gilbert, much better pitcher than Beto. Minus 140, though, is a little chalky for a team that just lost 2 straight against the Anaheim Angels. So that's why I didn't really get to the window with the Mariners. But, yeah, I love the Mets. Love the Royals. Might get there with the Rangers. I think I might get there. You maybe convince me of the Twins as well. But couple plays, couple leans for you. But that's it, kid. Next episode, we will have picks for week 1, Thursday night football and Friday night football in Brazil. Kid, any last words before? It's a long summer, but we have finally made it. We are in football season, kid.
Yeah, my last words. This is my last play of the day. Pittsburgh Pirates taking on the Chicago Cubs. Red hot Chicago Cubs. Over under sitting at 7.5. I'm gonna back my boy Justin Steele, and I'm gonna take the red hot Chicago Cubs on the money line. I called it earlier, minus 142. As of right now, money's coming in is at minus 138. So if I advise to wait till tomorrow, see what it drops to, people. But Jordan Steele, red hot Cubs versus a very struggling Pittsburgh Pirates teams. Go back the last 10, 15 games. Pirates has been on a downward spiral. And Cubs trending up. Jordan Steele on the mound. Give me that on the money line, Dale. Last play of the day.
Cubs might be back. They've won 6 in a row, 9 of their last 10, and they're hitting the shit out of the ball. I'm actually a little afraid. The Mets have, what do they have? 2.5 game lead above them. Mets 1.5 games behind Atlanta. They just lost Sunday night baseball. Good. So Mets are 1.5 games back, but watch the fuck out for Chicago. 9-1. They might be the hottest baseball team in baseball right now. So, kid, that's gonna do it. Any last words before we get up out of here?
Nah, hopefully LSU covers and I have a winning record for week 1, baby.
Yeah, right now 17-13. They have the ball about 14 minutes left. So let's go watch the end of this game.
Hook,
yeah.
The hook
Yeah,
is
the
killing
hook
me now.
is crazy. Everyone, good luck. God bless. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.